during every countdown to feasts of this nature. For Lampafal, anything on display at the moment can be sold because people are buying the things. The only problem, according to him, is the limitation of free movement by the police. Whether this is because they as petty traders don't have duty tickets or not, the fact of the matter is that the groove is on and high at the Serekunda market. From shoes, bags, jewelry to fabric, traders are confident they can meet the demands of the customers. For Grts News, I am Isaac Dabo.
We'll be back with more stories after this break.
war na la pour egg ca place bu sell ba di warugal ci sa borom képp kuy wedi war nga fàttaliku ne Allah suñu borom soxlut ndimbali kenn ci àdduna si ci at bi Africell mu ngi leen di indil xéewal pour dem Maka ngeen mun a taxawal juróomi sarti Islam di alhaj waaw fukka ñaari tickets yu teg ko pour ngeen gagné boole ci travel allowance ak dëkkuwaay ci lu yomba rek sarcel $100 scratch card wala e-voucher nga mun a bokk ci draw bi ñoo def week bu nekk lii di la jox bon chance nga mun a gagné free full hajj package maanaam dem Maka sa dëkkuwaay ak lépp loo war a soxla ci yoon bi sarcel $100 credit nga am bon chance pour gagner dépasse bu mut sëkk pour dem Maka taxawal juróomi sarti Islam di alhaj ak Africell yal na seen ñaan nangu.
Welcome back. Millions of people living in the east coast of the United States are bracing for Hurricane Irene with a wind of 140 kilometers per hour. The airport in New York and many subways have closed. For the first time, the mayor of the city has ordered the evacuation of over 200,000 people from low-lying areas. President Obama has called on people to take all necessary measures before it is too late. As we are in this report, officials are estimating up to $12 billion worth of damage in a worst-case scenario.
Hurricane Irene has hit the east coast of the United States. Though downgraded to a Category 1 storm now, it blasted into Cape Lookout, North Carolina on Saturday with winds of up to 140 kilometers an hour. Looking northward to New York, the densely populated corridor is home to some 65 million people and is now under threat of flooding, storm surges, power outages, and destruction.
We want to make sure, since this is all glass, no water, if it should get that deep, no water can seep into the building.
But we did take all our stuff inside, all our furniture and outside stuff, and we're going to probably border our big windows later on today or tomorrow morning.
Up to 1 million people have been evacuated from coastal towns in New Jersey, and for the first time ever, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg ordered the evacuation of 250,000 people from low-lying areas. New York airports are closed and the city's massive public transport subway system was beginning to shut down. Nobody wants to relive the nightmare of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans in 2005.
I cannot stress this highly enough. If you are in the projected path of this hurricane, you have to take precautions now. Don't wait, don't delay. We all hope for the best, but we have to be prepared for the worst.
Officials are estimating up to $12 billion worth of damages in a worst-case scenario.
Tens of thousands of protesters in Yemen have gathered at Sana'a to continue their demand for the resignation of President Ali Abdullah Saleh, who is still refusing to step down. President Saleh, who is recovering in Saudi Arabia following a rocket attack on his presidential compound in June, has announced his intentions to return to Yemen. Despite his absence in the country for 3 months, authority has not been transferred to the vice president. The control of government and the military remains firmly in the hands of President Saleh's family.
Galvanized by the latest victories in Libya, tens of thousands of protesters in Yemen gathered in Sana'a for the Friday prayer. During the prayer, the Imam implored Allah to help Yemen as he has helped the rebels in Libya. The success of the revolutions in Libya, Egypt and Tunisia has given Yemenis immense confidence.
It's very important that we make ourselves visible by coming to the square so that the revolution can achieve its goals. We hope that everyone at home will come and join us to support the youth who have gathered here. This must be resolved before the Eid.
Protests yesterday were staged in the capital Sana'a, Taiz, and other cities across the country. Protesters continue to demand the resignation of President Ali Abdullah Saleh, who has ruled the country for 3 decades. President Saleh, who was wounded in a rocket attack on the presidential palace last June, is currently recovering in Saudi Arabia.
Revolutions by the people are blessed by God. People do not give up. We have all seen what the revolutions in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya have achieved. In Libya, Muammar Gaddafi used planes against his people, but it was God's will that they should be victorious.
President Saleh has refused calls to step down and recently announced his intention to return to Yemen. Despite his absence from the country for 3 months, authority has not been passed over to the vice president. Control of the government and military remains firmly in the hands of his family.
We'll go for another short break, but we'll be back with sports news.
Yalla dik na gis nga Diamond Properties ñoo indi xéewal yot nañ la
bayil bu ma la waxe nga may tuddé nit ay nit dina la ray de bi dina la ray
xaral ma wax la wa baax gis nga ñi ma la tuddal nii fañ génnee raful pour joxe ketab lëmma ket goo xam ne dafa am 3 master bedroom
amat kër ga fan la nekk
mu nga Diamond Estate nekk all yundum
ah déedéet kay
ñaareeli prix bi xam nga lan la
déedéet
oto bu ñoo wax seri jeep 4x4 bu bees tàq yaa koy daaji si mbuus ñetteeli price gi
waaw
gars yi teg nañ juróomi ticket af Angleterre yoo xam ne boo amut visa wala bëgguloo dem Angleterre ñu yot la xaalis gi ñeneenteeli price ñaari junne juróomi téeméer af Angale ci ñaari téeméeri nit ñu gagné juróomeeli price gi junneb saakob maale ñu jox ko junneb nit ku ne benn saakob maalo génneel téeméer af Angale rek jënd ticket gi te xam nga lu ci gën a neexam boo jëndee ticket gi
waaw
ba pare fañam time yoo xam ne fa ñoo nekk si télé gi di def panel discussion nit ñi di oote gi nga boo ootee bañ la na allo
waaw
gañal
ne la allo rek
sala
ama Diamond Properties mooy bolom doole xamul ndam.
Members of the senior football squad will gather in Namibia on August 29th ahead of their weekend game in Windhoek. The team's administrator Bakary Terema Dahaba told GRTS Neighbourso in an exclusive interview that there are no new invitees in the team, but the side will be without Njogu Demba and Momodu Futi Danso.
Before the weekend encounter between the Gambia Scorpions and Namibia in Windhoek, and preparations are high for the boys to camp in Namibia on August the 29th.
We are preparing to meet Namibia, and this is going to be on the 3rd in Windhoek. Well, then the team is fully prepared. Administratively, all that is necessary is being done. We send the invitation to all the clubs and the boys, and that all of them almost acknowledge the receipt of the invitations. Now the tickets are being purchased, and they are handed over to me for onward transmission to the boys.
The game, which is of significant importance to the Gambia's qualification quest to its first ever Nations Cup, and Coach Paul Put will be traveling with 18 foreign and 4 local-based players.
We knew when we apply for the South African visa, it will take us another week or so, and that would waste our time. We felt we have the same facilities in Namibia. After looking through the internet to see their facilities, we have the same facilities. And that this will also save us a day, because anytime we are in Namibia, that means we are there throughout. But if we are in South Africa, we have to lose a day or two, the day we are arriving and the day we are leaving for Namibia.
The Senior Scorpions remains the only national team with competitive campaign. The team administrator, though, believes that the boys have the right attitude and mentality to collect maximum points and goals to keep the qualification hopes alive.
I have the confidence in my boys. I have the confidence in my technical team and the technical staff headed by Paul Put. I know we can compete with any country in Africa, for that matter, and we've proven it in our previous games in Banjul, outside Banjul, and this time around, we will definitely do our utmost best to make sure that we get the necessary 3 points and a very good goal margin.
Commenting on the Namibia appeal against Burkina Faso for filing in an ineligible player during their game, Dahaba said with or without the success of that appeal, the Gambia will be aiming to book their ticket to the next Nations Cup. With the recent developments surrounding Tijan Jaite and his club side, Dahaba went on to confirm the midfielder's availability for the game. The team though will be flying without Mamadou Fouti Danso, Njogu Demba and Makuma Kanyi all